Hi, I'm Rhonda Morton, and I work with individuals and teams and organizations anywhere in the world. When I work with people, I work with this unfolding moment, what's happening right now in their bodies. I work with very smart people, so if they could have figured out what was wrong and changed it by thinking about it, by analyzing it, they would have by now. So we go into the wisdom of the body to help them figure out what they already know, but don't know that they know. I'll give you an example of this. I was working with a woman who wanted to learn how to do better at giving pitches to influential colleagues. And through a process of talking a little bit, we figured out that she could not deal with any kind of resistance when she encountered it. And we realized through a little bit of movement that this was something that she developed very early as a youngster. And what would happen was the minute someone would even ask her a question and it looked like resistance, she would look down and sort of cave in on herself and turn away. And, you know, if she could have, she would have run out of the room. So instead, through very quickly, some body exercises that we went through, step-by-step, little incremental, easy process, she learned that if she just leaned in a little bit, kept her eyes up, and asked a question for deeper understanding, it allowed her to have a breath, a nice, full, deep, relaxing breath, and she could stick with it and not go into her old pattern. This, of course, could change the trajectory of her career if she was able to now better, pitch to her colleagues. So it's these kind of fundamental shifts that really make a difference. Another thing that I do is work with a tool called the Phoebe. It's an online assessment of personality and work style. It assesses your preference for driver, organizer, collaborator, and visionary energy patterns. If we find that you want to have more visionary, for instance, it might be just a matter of giving you some brain development exercises. What we find is that if folks have been thinking the same thoughts in the same way for a very long time, they develop these really strong and inflexible neural pathways in their brains. So when presented with a new situation, they can only think in the old way. But if I give them these exercises and they use them every day, over time they start to develop new neural pathways, which allows them to see new perspectives and jump to new conclusions and see patterns that they wouldn't have seen before. So that's one way that we use the Phoebe. Another way is with teams, and I'm going to give you another example. I was working with a group of, again, very strong organizer types. So they like to follow rules, they had processes that were very strict that they had to adhere to. And that was all really good until someone made a mistake. And then, people are human, they make mistakes, but because they were organizers, they're very hard on themselves and on others in that order. So they didn't want to know that they had made a mistake, and they also didn't want to tell anybody that someone else had made a mistake. So we used the Phoebe, we figured out that this was going on for them, and within a couple of hours, I took them through this process where they thought, okay, we can either create a whole new process that's going to slow us down and be cumbersome and time-consuming, or we can just learn that it's okay to tell each other if a mistake has been made, and to fix it with sensitivity and humor, and just be able to have this shared language around, okay, I know I'm an organizer, but a mistake has been made. So it really helped them be much more effective without having to be, brought down by this new system. I really love doing this work for that reason, because these little fundamental shifts, especially as they have to do with the body and how we show up in the world, can hugely affect every aspect of our lives. I recently worked with a group of 10 women, and they went through a process where they went through group workshops and then individual coaching. At the end of a 4-month process, 2 of them had been promoted. Another one had gotten a stretch job. One of them had saved her marriage, and all of them had basically made these fundamental shifts that made them more effective on the, in the workplace at home and in the community. So if you are the kind of person who wants to work with where you are now, with your strengths, to look at what else is possible, then please give me a call. I would love to work with you.